They are not all immortals. How is that?
The club is mainly comprised of political figures who seek the safety and expansion of the Empire. The most loyal are awarded immortality.
Any familiar or famous names?
As the richest, most relentless British tycoon, Aloysius Dawson is considered ideal Ascalon material and has been watched for years.
If you are convinced I must meet him, I will heed your advice.
Thank you, Jonathan. I understand your reluctance to brush shoulders with London's vampire elite. But we have no choice.
Is the situation that critical?
Yes. The Guard of Prewen has called for a second great hunt of our kind. And they will stop at nothing to eliminate us.
Will the Guard of Prewen and the Ascalon Club fight each other?
I doubt it. If Prewen really launched a great hunt, I think most of the Econs I know would flee the country to escape the bloodbath.
I think I saw them kill an Econ on the way to your house. They seem to have a list with names.
To launch another great hunt, they must have collected intelligence on vampire identities and whereabouts. They are a resourceful lot.
Should we fight back? I will not be hunted down like an animal again.
I admire your courage, Jonathan. But the best way to fight them is to put an end to the epidemic. This is the only way to clear the air.
What is a great hunt?
The first great hunt was launched about 75 years ago. In just a few nights, the Guard of Prewen located and destroyed most of the old British vampires.
Why start a second one?
Prewen has always seen us immortals as a threat to mankind. My guess is they suspect one or more of us is the cause of the epidemic.
How did you survive the first hunt?
I fled, Jonathan. Like most vampires who survived that slaughter. And I secretly came back when I was sure they had lost my trail.
You should flee then. Leave London, the country even. I have seen the Guard in action. They are merciless.
Your concern warms my heart, Jonathan. But fear not. If the situation gets too dangerous, I shall retreat to my secret Scottish manor. I could hide you in my luggage, if you wish.
Thank you for the offer. I shall keep it in mind, but I have much to do here. There is a question I must ask you. Could Lord Redgrave be my maker?
I doubt it. If Lord Redgrave had made you his progeny, he would not have seemed so surprised when you demonstrated the strength of your lineage.
What is the plan?
The plan is we both try to save this city, you and I. Go to Ascalon, accept their proposition, and use their influence to promote your agenda.
How can I save London?
The epidemic is the priority. You must find its origin and put an end to it. This is the best way to solve the crisis.
What will you do?
I still have contacts and old friends in this town. I shall make some inquiries and attempt to learn more of the situation. We need clarity.
One day soon, I will have to find the answer to this mystery.
And I shall help you in your research, I promise. For now, you must go to the Ascalon Club and play their game.
Will I see you again at the Pembroke Hospital?
No, you will find me here if you need me. I shall conduct inquiries alone, and we can then share our discoveries.
Will you not visit Pembroke again?
No, I must remain discreet and avoid attracting attention to Pembroke Hospital for the time being.
But how will you sustain yourself?
I shall not, Jonathan. Fear not. I'm used to it.
When will we meet again?
As soon as you meet Lord Redgrave, I suppose. Fear not, my dear. I shall only be a heart's beat away.
I want to thank you for all your support and your help, my lady.
Could you do me a last great favor and call me Elizabeth?
I should be honored, my lady.
Then it is settled. Finally, some good news in these dark hours.
Thank you. I appreciate the advice. I had best prepare myself to meet this Lord Redgrave now.
How thrilling to meet the Earl of Bristol in the flesh, so to speak.
Something tells me you're not very keen on the man.
Don't get me wrong. The gentlemen of the Ascalon Club are honorable, but their attitude and opinions are somewhat antiquated.
I see.
As long as they deny access to female applicants, I will leave them to their antediluvian considerations as to the natural order of things. Jonathan, promise me you'll be careful.
Of course. But why the fear in your voice?
Look at me, Jonathan.
I am.
I mean, really look at me, young Ekon. We may be deceptive by nature, but this heart of mine has always told the truth.
Elizabeth.
Go, my friend. But come back to me soon.
Ja, wow. Was soll man da noch zu sagen? Hm?
So, time to visit the Ascalon Club.
Ascalon Club, na gut. Und schauen wir mal, dass wir da ankommen. Dadurch werde ich wahrscheinlich nicht können, oder?
It's locked, all right.
Gut, dann müssen wir einen anderen Weg finden. Das Ding ist, tut er mir jetzt was oder nicht? Ich glaube ja. Okay, der steckt da dezent in der Wand fest. Oha. Autsch. Das Ding ist halt, ich rette den und der greift mich halt an, ne? Eigentlich ist das nicht notwendig. Aber gut. Fest sind das Spiel. Ja, es ist doch nicht der erste Stream, den ich mache dazu. Ist schon gut interessant. Okay, bringt mir das hier irgend... Ja. Okay. Wo bringt mich das hier irgendwo hin, oder warum? Okay. So. Ja, um die Ecke luken. Jemand hier? Ich sehe nur überall. Hier ist alles tot. Crazy.
I cannot enter.
Ja. Ich weiß, ich probiere es trotzdem immer wieder. Da ist schon wieder der Typ. Kann ich dem helfen? Okay.
That was the vampire I saw earlier. This war takes no prisoners.
Krass, krass, ja. Aber ich bin hier richtig, glaube ich. Sieht zumindest stark
The
aus.
West End. Never have I felt so sad to be back home.
Stimmt, wir sind ja in West End geboren, ne? Gibt's hier irgendwas? Was ist denn da los? Warte mal, ich gehe da gleich hin. Ich guck mich mal eben hier um. Das sieht aus wie Harry Potter. Okay, der ist heavy. Der ist aber auch 9 Level über uns. Oha, was kann der denn? What the fuck? Die können Sachen, die will ich auch können. Das ist unfair. Tricky. Der zieht mir ein halbes Leben ab. What the fuck? Warum kann der sowas? Das macht, glaube ich, keinen Sinn, gegen den zu kämpfen. Ja, was das? Ich glaube. Ja. What the fuck? Heftig. Warum ist der denn Level 27? Holy, ich bin Level 18. Uff. Echt krass. Gut, wir müssen aber... Wo kann ich mich da nicht hoch teleportieren? Ach, die ist das, die da so rumschreit. Okay. Muss ich da jetzt lang oder bin ich da jetzt aus Versehen reingelatscht? Das ist jetzt die Frage. Musst du die Keule verbessern? Ja, ich kann aber auch nicht ewig die Keule... Ach, das ist hier die Seite. Oh jo. Warte mal, ich würde eh kurz was gucken. Hier haben wir eigentlich soweit alle zwei sind noch krank. Keiner krank, keiner krank. Ich suche ja auch schon ein bisschen nach einem Unterschlupf, um mal zu gucken, ob ich mal diese 3000 Punkte oder fast 4000, die wir mittlerweile haben, irgendwie investieren kann. Aber ich glaube, wir müssen hier lang. Boah. Aua. Der hat mich erschrocken. Warum machst du sowas? Jesus, hat er mich erschrocken. So, ist geplatzt. Was ist denn da? Autsch. Guck dir das mal an, Alter. Der hittet mich einmal und ich bin uff. Das ist so heftig. Gott im Himmel. Boah, wenn er mich damit erwischt nochmal, dann bin ich richtig down. Das gibt's doch gar nicht. Uff. Alter. Aua. Unangenehm. Sehr, sehr unangenehm. Okay. Unterschlupf. Aber nur von der anderen Seite. Ja, von der anderen Seite. Ich glaube, ich muss echt mal mir ein Serum spritzen hier.
The Ascalon Club, the heart of British vampire society. Not quite as subtle as I expected.
Oh, lerne ich jetzt auch mal Leute hier kennen. Hello, lady.
Good evening, miss.
Oh,
my God,
Moment.
no. Please, Mr. Vampire, don't kill me. Please, no. I'm too young to die. I still have so much to offer this world.
Wait, no. Why do you think I would... What?
Don't worry, Dr. Reed. I know you wouldn't harm me. Mother told me you were in this part of town and might drop by.
Your mother?
My name is Charlotte, sir. Charlotte Ashbury. My mother
Aha.
taught me long ago how to recognize the signs that betray a vampire.
I understand she also taught you how to tease and gently mock innocent young econs. It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Charlotte. What do you think about this part of town?
I was raised here, and I suppose it feels like home. You grew up in this part of town too, did you not?
Yes, I was born a few streets away.
A small world, is it not? Did you ever imagine that my mother was your neighbor all that time? That you could have met her in a dark alley at night?
You won't trick me twice, young lady. We both know Lady Ashbury never hunts or attacks prey at random.
Come on, Doctor. Don't tell me you never thought about that possibility. Her fangs on your neck. Oh, are you blushing, Dr. Reed?
Is there something that's bothering you?
Too much selfishness and individualism for my taste. Even when there was no epidemic.
Even if that's partly true, may I remind you that many charitable institutions are financed by the selfish and filthy rich.
I suppose you're right. But society must reform and renew itself, or we are all done for.
What are you doing out here?
You mean, what do I do outside at night, since I am a woman? Let me ask you a question, sir. Would you ask the same question of a man?
Actually, yes. I ask the same question to everyone who dares to go outside at night, considering the risks.
Well, if you must know, I campaign for the right to vote for all women. Why should I wait to the age of 30 years when men can vote at 21?
How are the locals reacting to your claims?
People here can't wait for a wall to be built to isolate the West End from the rest of town. That's how progressive they are. If this happens, Emily and I will blow it up.
Explosives are very dangerous, young lady. And who is this Emily?
She is my best friend, and a suffragette too. She was supposed to campaign with me tonight, but hasn't turned up.
Have you any reason to be worried about her?
Recently, Emily started to believe in... well, she got interested in vampires. I'm afraid she might be in trouble.
Let me guess. You spoke to her about us, didn't you? Despite your mother's warning. I think I should try to find your friend.
Oh, that would be top-notch. I can tell you where she might have gone. You have my thanks, Dr. Reed. And please, don't tell my mother.
Are you a suffragette, then? Oh, you really are Elizabeth's girl. Without a doubt.
All adult women have the right to vote in the US, in New Zealand, and in Australia. But women here can't vote unless they are property owners.
No need to convince me, Miss Charlotte. I have shared your opinion for a long time. Even before I met Emmeline Pankhurst.
Really? Oh. Now I see why my mother appreciates you so much. Too bad there aren't more men like you in the vicinity.
What exactly has your mother told you about me?
Your name and profession, obviously. And the mystery about your maker. I'm sorry to hear about what happened to your sister, sir. Mother says it was not your fault.
Does it not scare you to know what I am? What your mother is?
Why should it? My mother is the most compassionate woman. Must I be wary of her, Dr. Reed? Or you?
Of course not. You have nothing to fear from me, or your mother.
Good to know. And don't worry, my mother told me everything I need to know about vampire tricks, their nature as well as features.
Your mother is not like any other vampire I've met.
I believe she thinks the same about you, Dr. Reed.
Tell me about your adoption.
What do you want to know?
Who are your real parents?
Elizabeth Ashbury is my real mother. She raised me and has taken care of me all my life. I have no idea who my progenitors are or were.
Do you live with her?
I still spend a lot of time in my mother's mansion, but I have my own house now. I have a life to live, you see. And one day, I'll have my death to face.
How did you meet Lady Ashbury?
First, I was an orphan in the institution for girls she manages in the West End. When I was 10, she adopted me, and I have lived with her ever since.
Did you know she was a vampire when she picked you?
The correct word is Ekon, Doctor. And no, I had no idea why my mother only showed up at night. She told me everything when I turned 16, though I suspected the truth for a long time before that.
Do you know why Lady Ashbury chose you to become her daughter?
No, I don't. Each time I ask her that question, she smiles and says it's precisely because I dare to ask such questions.
Do you ever regret that she chose you?
Of course not. Though I often wonder if she adopted others before me. If so, where are they buried? How was it for them to pass through life with a never-aging mother?
Goodbye, Charlotte. Give my best regards to your mother when you see her.
She's been quite busy these last few nights. I suspect you may see her before me.